Today we're looking at order of operations. If you recall from previous classes that you've had, order of operations is kind of divided up into four levels. We have our level for parentheses, our level for exponents, the level for multiplication and division, and another level for addition and subtraction. Just a reminder, if you have more than one set of parentheses, like you have a set of parentheses inside of a set of parentheses, you want to work from the inside out. If you have more than one set of exponents, you also want to work from the inside out. When you're doing multiplication and division, you want to do those in order from left to right. And same thing with addition and subtraction, in order from left to right. It doesn't matter whether the division shows up first or the multiplication shows up first. Whichever one shows up first, going left to right is the one that you would do first. So if I'm looking at these two, it says which is correct? 15 plus 3 times 2 equals 36, or 15 plus 3 times 2 equals 21. Now if you think about those for a second, how could they have come up with 36 and 21? So I'm looking at this one. If I did 15 plus 3, that would give me 18 times 2, which would give me 36. And on this one, if I did 3 times 2 first, that would give me 6, plus 15 would give me 21. Now, only one of those is correct, because we should only get one answer for that problem. So if we picked the order of operations that was done first correctly in these problems, we should know which one is the correct answer. So if I'm looking at these two operations, I have addition and I have multiplication. So which one should I do first? Well, over here it says that I would do multiplication and division first. So this is the order of operation that I should do to begin with. So I should have 3 times 2, which is 6, and then I should add that to 15 to get 21. So this is the correct one. So let's write down those rules. We're going to work parentheses, inside out, and they would come first. Next we would work with exponents, and we would also work those inside out. Next, we would look at multiplication and division, so we would work those in order from left to right. And then step 4, we would do addition and subtraction in order from left to right. Alright, well, let's apply that to a few problems. Problem number 1. We have 15 minus 14 times 3 divided by 6. So if I was looking at this problem, first I would look to see if it had any parentheses. It doesn't. Then I would look to see if it had any exponents. It does not. So we look for multiplication and division. Here I have multiplication and here I have division. So I would do it in order from left to right. Now I'm not going to do anything with 15, so I'm just going to write it down. So I have a negative 14 times 3. So somewhere on my paper I would probably go multiply that out. Negative 14 times 3, which would give me negative 42. So I have 15 minus 42 divided by 6. Now I've taken care of the multiplication, now I need to do the division. So negative 42 divided by 6, that would give me a negative 7. So I would have 15 minus 7, and then I would do the addition subtraction because that's the last step or the next step. So 15 minus 7 would give me 8. Notice I went ahead and showed all of the steps. That way if I make a mistake, it's easy to go back and fix. The second problem that we have over here. We need to treat the top of this and the bottom of this as two separate problems until we're ready to do this division step. So we're going to simplify the top, then we're going to simplify the bottom, and then we're going to do the division. And the reason that we do that is because up here we have so many different symbols and down here we have so many different symbols. We want to first get our numerator in order and then get our denominator in order. So here we go. If I'm looking at the stuff on the top or in the numerator, I have multiplication, addition, and multiplication. I need to take care of the multiplication before addition and subtraction. Remember, multiplication comes before addition and subtraction. So 2 times 7 would give me 14. And 5 times 3 would give me 15. Now all I have left is the addition to do, which should be the last step. So 14 plus 15 would give me 29. Down here on bottom, the only thing I have to do is subtraction. So 30 minus 29 would be 1. Now I need to do that division step. 29 divided by 1, which would be 29. Now, you're probably asking yourself, but I thought we were supposed to do division before we did addition and subtraction. When we're looking at fractions, we need to treat them as two separate problems. It's almost like this whole top section was in parentheses, so we needed to deal with it first. Same thing with the bottom. It would all be in parentheses. We need to really get used to using these parentheses because when we put things in our calculator, we're also going to have to put parentheses around them to make the calculator work the order of operations correctly. So if that was in parentheses and we took another look at that problem, we would first take care of parentheses, which means we would do everything inside here first, which is what we did. We did 14 plus 15, which gave us 29, and 30 minus 29, which is 1. So after we took care of both those parentheses, we were able to go down to the division step. Let's look at another problem. Here we have 3 squared times 10 minus 6 squared divided by 12. So just a reminder for ourselves, we'll go ahead and write down our order of operations. So on this first one, I don't have any parentheses, so I'm going to go down to exponents. Do I have exponents? Yes, I have 3 squared and I have 6 squared. So here I have 3 times 3, which is 9. Remember, 3 squared means 3 times 3. And then here I have 6 squared. There is a difference between 6 squared and negative 6 squared. Yes, in this case they both give us 36. But I need you to get used to putting, if it's a negative, in parentheses. If the parentheses aren't there, then it's only squaring the 6. If the parentheses are there, it would be squaring the symbol and the 6, or the operation and the 6. But in this case, since it's not in parentheses, we would only square the 6. So we would have 9 times 10 minus 36 divided by 12. Alright, looks like we took care of all of the parentheses and exponents. So now we'll be on the multiplication and division. So I'm looking here, I have multiplication and division in this problem. So I'm working in order from left to right. So 9 times 10 would give me 90 minus 36 divided by 12. 36 divided by 12 would give me 3. So now I have 90 minus 3, which would be 87. Okay, that one's done. Let's look at number 4. In this one we have lots of different operations. We have 16 divided by 4 times 3 squared minus 6 times 2 times 3 in parentheses. So first thing we would do is go through and work anything in parentheses. So here we have parentheses, 2 times 3, that would just give us 6. So this is like 6 times 6. Notice now if I put parentheses around it, that's just going to indicate multiplication. It's no longer asking me to do an operation inside the parentheses. So I have 16 divided by 4 times 3 squared minus 6 times 6. Alright, so we finished our parentheses. We need to move on to exponents. So here we have an exponent, 3 squared, which we talked about in the last problem as being 9. So this is 16 divided by 4 times 9 minus 36. Great, so now we've taken care of all of our parentheses and our exponents. Let's look at our multiplication and division. We need to remember to work that in order from left to right. So 16 divided by 4 would give us 4. So we have 4 times 9 minus 36. Then we do our multiplication. 4 times 9 is 36. So we have 36 minus 36. And in our case, when we do our subtraction, we're going to get 0. Hopefully you feel like you're getting the hang of it at this point. Let's look at number 5. Once again, I'll kind of write my reminder off over here of what it is that I'm supposed to do and what order I'm supposed to do it in. I'm first looking for parentheses, so I scan through my problem and I don't see parentheses. Next, I'm going to scan through and look for exponents. Nope, no exponents. Next, I'm going to do multiplication and division, and once again, I want to make sure that I do those in order from left to right. So here I have 2 times 7, which is 14, plus 5 minus 3, plus, and then here I have another multiplication, 6 times 5, which is 30, plus 3. Alright, I've taken care of all multiplication and division, and we did it in order from left to right. Now we need to do addition and subtraction. So we'll start over here at the left. 14 plus 5 would be 19. 19 minus 3 would be 16. 16 plus 30 would be 46. And 46 plus 3 would give us 49. Notice when we're working our problem, we're simplifying it and we're going all the way down till we have our final answer. We're showing each step so that if anyone was to look back at that, they could see where we got each number. The 14 came from the 2 times 7. The 19 came from the 14 plus 5. The 16 came from the 19 minus 3. 46 came from the 16 plus 30. And the 49 came from the 46 plus 3. They can tell exactly what step it is that we did every step of the way. Alright, our big challenge, the last problem on this notes page. We have a lot of stuff on top. We have a lot of stuff on bottom, probably more on top. Remember we chatted about a while ago, if we had something that was set up as a fraction, we really needed to work all of the top together so the numerator is set, and then all of the bottom together so the denominator is set. Then we actually do that division. So let's simplify the top first. I'm going to bring it over here as a separate problem. These brackets that you see are just another set of parentheses, but it helps us distinguish which set goes together. So these two work together and these two work together for our multiplication. Alright, so first we need to tackle what's in parentheses. So here's the most inner parentheses. So 2 plus 14 would give us 16. And then we would do, inside those parentheses, we would do exponents or division first. We look back at our notes, we're supposed to do exponents. So 4 squared would give us 16. So now still in this big set of brackets or parentheses, we would have 16 divided by 16, which all just becomes 1. So this is 20 minus 1 plus 5. If we finish simplifying that, we have 20 minus 1, which is 19, plus 5, and that would give us 24. So our entire numerator simplified to 24. Now let's look at our denominator. We have 4 squared minus 13. So all of that's considered in parentheses. That's why we wrote it in parentheses here for our calculator stuff later on. We want to look at the exponent or the subtraction first. That's right, we want to look at the exponent. So we have 4 squared, which is 16, minus 13. Notice we got the 16 from the 4 squared. Now 16 minus 13 would give us a 3. So this entire denominator simplifies to a 3. Now we just have the problem 24 divided by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. I hope this helps explain how to do order of operations. Make sure that you apply these strategies as you're working your homework page. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me using the form at the bottom of the website. Have a great day. Bye.